What's going on, guys? Kyger back with our Legends of Neverland video. I'm a little late on this, but this is going to be my Marigold testing video. Was kind of pushed back because of all the new information coming out last week as well as yesterday with the soul leveling information. But let's start it off from the top. Make sure you guys can see it. There we go. So first we're going to go over her stats, her information, her abilities, and then we'll go to the actual testing. So as a reminder, stats right here, she does not have suppression, which is annoying. So it's either going to be one of two things going forward. Well, three things. One, they made a mistake and Marigold isn't part of it. And then the newer fairies will have suppression, which is unlikely. Two, only Holy will have suppression, likely. Also, thirdly, which is also likely, is only Nightshade has suppression, or they make it a very specific thing. It is called Dragon Suppression, and Nightshade is like a dragon themed thing. So we'll have to see. We're going to need the next fairy and then probably the next two or three after that to really know what's going on with suppression. As far as the special attributes, we have HP, Tenacity, Break, Block. These are good stats, but they aren't really fire stats, meaning I don't see any crit here. HP is good. It's not defense. And HP is a stat that fire does get at the higher echo stages. So that's fine. Defensive, tenacity, block is always good to have regardless. But it's kind of weird that this gives break and not crit. On to her abilities. Concerto. I don't know why I always have to say it that way when I read it. The skill takes effect when switching to Melodic Marigold. Grants the master debuff mastery, which is damage increase as long as the opponent is under some sort of debuff. As far as what debuffs this works with, it'll be anything that reduces a stat, such as defense down, attack down, speed down, things like that, as well as movement and parrying effects, such as cannot move, stun, silence, things like this. And increases your pierce rate and for 6 seconds every 30 seconds, and it scales linearly. So at level 8 it'll be 8% and 16%. Active Parting Staccato deals damage, AoE, and triggers Rhapsody, which gives you attack, crit rate, and crit damage, which that is fire. That is what fire wants. So the whole break thing is still kind of weird, but oh well. Prevents the target from using dodge skills. We will talk about that, what that ends up actually doing. Reduces their movement speed by 50% and spawns a 3-meter radius sonic zone at their location each second for 6 seconds, dealing damage. Level 2 effect. When cast, immobilize the target for 2 seconds. So the number 2, prevent them from using dodge, is separate from the immobilization. Prevent dodge does not count as debuff mastery, but the immobilize will. Keyword kind of helps. It also gives the attack boost from 5% to 15%. And the level 5 effect, more damage on the AoE and heals you based on hit. And level 8, Rhapsody can't be dispelled and reduces the target's protection rate by 10% for 6 seconds. So good. It gives you pierce rate from the passive, reduces their protection rate, it definitely works together of what it's trying to do. The only thing that's a little weird is the break. Now, let's make sure you can see this right. So if I do this, all right, let's make it a bit bigger so you guys can see it better. All right, let's do it like this, so there's no issues on my end. So if we hit play here, we can see dummy, regular type, and then we're testing the attacks. So boom, da-dum, da-da. It's a bit faster than most. Alright. It's a bit faster on the basic attack. You'll also see the actual skill does a small circle and then starts doing that like explosive thing very similar to Hydreiga Flames. We'll see another shot of this. And then we'll start to test ranges for the skill. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, there you go. Now, we start to test ranges. Can obviously do it in that circle. Trying it as far as we can. So that middle circle between the two lines is further than most fairies. There's very, very few that have the same range as her. And we'll see if we skip forward a bit. Alright, so this range, the only fairies that would be able to hit from this range are ones where you can point, click, and control where they go. But as a reminder, something like, let's say, the most recent one, Nightshade, she could only cast it from that middle circle. Right here where my pointer is. And we will see. Can't do it from here. But this outer, like, kind of rocky circle right here, you're able to cast it from. So she has a pretty decent range. So one of the highest ranges in the game. Then move this up a bit. This is PvP testing. We will be testing when the cannot move activates, as well as some key important things. Let's check it out. So boom, say yes. All right. Oh, sorry. I forget it's the opponent casting it, which does make it a little bit harder. Boom. As soon as she disappeared, it did the immobilization. Alright, let's check our debuff bar. Yeah, I see the cannot move. So it's not as quick as Millum. Millum, who is the pink hair one, you'll see at the top right over here. As soon as you click the button, you get the cannot move. But if we check it one more time, boom, boom, boom. Let's see. That's the basics. Boom. And the initial hit. I don't know if I can make this any slower, but boom. Got locked in place during movement before anything actually hit. So it's not when you click the button, but like the very second after. Cannot move. Initial hit. right here, immobilized, cannot move, and then the slow hits, followed by the big explosions, which is the multi-hit. As far as where she's going to be useful at, the actual effect Rhapsody, as well as the passive, is going to be good in PvE for fire. It doesn't have stacking percentages like some of our other ones, but this is going to give you stats allowing you to do things you probably wouldn't have been able to before. Fire is generally pretty good at a lot of PvE things, especially late game bosses, or pushing higher levels of Path of Fire, giving you that crit stat to allow you to do so. Rhapsody giving you more crit damage, definitely very, very powerful. As far as PvP, as I said in my initial impressions, I think she's going to be a great setter. The term I've used in the past is setup fairy, and fire has like no setup fairies. You can argue that Rose is a setup fairy, but she has to hit and then she's a setup for the next fairy. She's like a between thing. Whereas Holy has a bunch of setup fairies. You have things like Orchid, you have things like Milim, you have things like Sakura. These are set up fairies. And then set up for the big hit fairies, which we know fire has always been very, very good at. So it's nice to have some setup fairies for fire. Let me know what you guys think down below. Till next time, guys.